Hello and welcome back to our Bible story time. I'm so glad that you can join us today. We're reading from the Lectionary Story Bible by Ralph Milton, and we're so grateful that Ralph gives his permission for his stories to be used. Today's story is called Jacob's Dream. It's based on Genesis 28, verses 10 to 22, and it picks up on the story of Abraham and Sarah, of Isaac and Rebekah and their children Esau and Jacob. And we pick up where we left off Jacob's story the other day. Jacob was running away. He had cheated his brother and lied to his father. He was afraid. Jacob's mother, Rebekah, had told him to run to Haran, to the place where her brother Laban lived. And Jacob didn't even know where Haran was. Jacob ran and ran until he was so tired he could hardly stand up. It was getting dark and he was afraid. Over and over he thought about what he had done. Jacob knew that Isaac's blessing meant God's promise of a great nation was now his. God had made the promise to Abraham and Sarah, then it had been passed on to Rebekah and Isaac. Now it was his. But as Jacob stood there alone in the dark, feeling cold and hungry, God's promise didn't seem to help very much. Finally, Jacob was so tired, he lay down on the hard ground. He put his head on a rock. Some pillow, he thought to himself. In the middle of the night, something happened. Maybe it was just a dream. Jacob didn't think it was a dream because it all felt so real. Jacob was sure he saw a bright light from up in the sky. There were stairs that began right beside him on the ground and reached up all the way into the sky. There were angels on the stairs, Jacob told his children many years later. Angels going up the stairs and angels coming down. And at the very top, there was God. Then God spoke to me, said Jacob. God said, I am the God of your grandparents, Abraham and Sarah, and of your parents, Isaac and Rebekah. The promise is now yours, Jacob. You will be the great-great-grandfather of many, many people. People all over the world will learn about me because of you. And Jacob, I will be with you. I am your God. I will take care of you. The next morning, Jacob woke up. Well, he wasn't sure if he woke up because he wasn't sure if he'd been sleeping. But he did remember what he had seen or dreamed. So Jacob took the stone he had used for a pillow and set it up on its end. This place is special because I've seen God here, Jacob said to himself. I'm going to call this place Bethel, which means the house of God. And from now on, I will give 1/10 of everything I own to God. The next morning, as Jacob walked along, he thought and thought about God's promise and about what kind of person God wanted him to be. Jacob still didn't know where Haran was. He was still alone and hungry. All he had were the clothes on his back and his walking stick. But somehow, Jacob felt much better after his strange experience the night before. And we'll pick up his story again another day. I'm so glad that you were here for our story time today, and I look forward to having you join us again tomorrow. Bye for now.